Hello, 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 and welcome to the One and One Music Review Show. I am your host, Dr. Empress Rose. Greetings, the one and all itineral guidance to the masses. Thanks for tapping in each and every week and lending to me your listening ear. Dubbed as the International Music Connection, each week we highlight musicians of various genres across the globe. As well, please check out our Reggae Aeration, featuring an hour of classic, retro, authentic tunes on Wednesdays, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on AMP. And on Saturdays, 10 to 12 p.m., check out our Music Connect Africa, exclusively on YouTube. We are international stars.
Cash too on it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Aklerh and me around the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. And me around the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Hot body girl, them day up on the planet. But girl get upset over when me do she want it. Wasted thing me say. Them girl they a farm it. So many man them who want run come put it on me. Think why me joke life them a leaving. Come on me, some animated comic. And me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Listen what me say. And me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. When them see me a pass, I'm in here, I'm a standing me crowd. Beer bag a chatting sing kwa. Me beanie I'm a fear, me can't stand it. If you dey see me they pass, nobody try irritate up the rocks. Bad mind a fig we make the pass. Club and your fair, come pick up the permit. Aklerh and me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. And me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. I'm Mr. Listen what I say. Hang your socks on me, hang your socks on me, AJ. Hang your socks on me, hang your socks on me, AJ. Aklerh and me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy on me, AJ. And me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Cash too on it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Aklerh and me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. And me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Hot body girl, them day up on the planet. But girl get upset over when me do she want it. Wasted thing me say. Them girl they a farm it. So many man them who want run come put it on me. Think why me joke life them a leaving. Come on me, some animated comic. And me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Listen what me say. And me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. When them see me a pass, I'm in here, I'm a standing me crowd. Beer bag a chatting sing kwa. Me beanie and me feel me can't stand it. If you dey see me they pass, nobody try irritate up the rocks. Bad mind a fi go make the pass. No ban your fare, come pick up the permit. Let me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. I'm a listen what I say. In your socks for me, in your socks for me, AJ. In your socks for me, in your socks for me, AJ. Aklerh, I'm for me. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy for me, thinking crazy for me, AJ. I'm for me. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy for me, thinking crazy. Skis on it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently waiting for Aklerh. I'm trying to locate her right now, but I want you guys to sit tight. Of course, it is that. She has just released this money track, and the track you heard before was Run the Town. And we are going to conversate to talk about just how those songs are doing, as well as some of my listeners may also remember that she has actually been on the show before. So I'll catch up with her to find out, just what's going on since the last time she has been on. But just give her a few minutes. We'll be right back with Aklerh.
Cash to run it. Aklerh, me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Hot body girl, them day up on the planet, but girl get upset over when me do. She want it, wasted thing me say. Them girl they are farming. So many man them who want run come put it on me. Me kwa me joke life them a leaving. Kwa mami, tomo some animated comic. Me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Listen what me say. Me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. When them see me a pass, I'm a stand in me crowd. Beer bag a chatting sing kwa. Me beanie and me feel me can't stand it. If you dey see me they pass, nobody try irritate up the rocks. Bad mind a fi go make the pass. No ban your fare, come pick up the permit. Let me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. Me I run the town. I know girl could take me down. She dey go crazy, thinking crazy. I'm Mr. Listen what I say. In your socks for me, in your socks for me, AJ. In your socks for me, in your socks for me, AJ. Aklerh, I'm in your on the town, na na na. I know you could take me down, she dey go crazy for me, thinking crazy for me, AJ. I'm in your on the town, I know you could take me down, she dey go crazy for me, thinking crazy. Skis on it.
Hello, and welcome to the One and One Music Review Show. I am your host, Dr. Empress Rose. Greetings, the one and all itineral guidance to the masses. Thanks for tapping in each and every week and lending to me your listening ear. Dubbed as the International Music Connection, each week we highlight musicians of various genres across the globe. As well, please check out our Reggae Aeration, featuring an hour of classic, retro, authentic tunes on Wednesdays, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on AMP. And on Saturdays, 10 to 12 p.m., check out our Music Connect Africa, exclusively on YouTube. We are international stars. Here, we aim to highlight the cultural creative industries, discovering emerging talents whilst establishing business connections and forming new global partnerships. This year, BDG 2023 Business Conference looks to highlight the theme Economic Growth in the Age of Modern Day Entrepreneurism. Here, it gives us an opportunity to explore innovative ideas and techniques with a focus on 4 CCI notable professions of the art: music, film, poetry, and athletics. And then there's gender equality, sustainability, and diversity. We will better highlight these conversations in our workshops and panel discussions. Stay connected. We are international stars. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So I have no clue what's going on because I spoke with Aklerh before we should get on air, and everything was fine. And right now, it appears that she is can't, or that is trying to locate her. But in the meantime, let's talk about my spoken word album because, yes, let's shine some light on that. So, to everyone who is currently listening, of course, this today, I have a spoken word album that has been released. And that album is a continuation in my Behind Closed Doors series. Behind Closed Doors series, where it is that I set out the year and says, okay, I will be debuting um, 8 poems for a digibook, and that digibook was released as well. That digibook has been released since April for Poetry Month, and it was followed up with the audiobook as well, and it has been out there making the rounds and actually doing well. Persons who didn't know about me were actually able to start knowing a little bit about me. So we are now at the stage where I then decided now the next move would be to do an audiobook. And that's where we are now. So I'm sorry, for the spoken word album. So the spoken word album actually debuts 10 tracks. There's the intro, and it goes through, it's just as reciting the poems to audio as well. I am blessed and honored to have had some interesting and, notable producers who actually chimed in and was able to come on the project and lend their expertise as well, right? So, of course, it is that if you're just joining, no, this is not Aklerh, okay? If anyone's trying to sabotage my show, I know how to make things happen. So right now, I am talking about my spoken word album that was released today. If you don't have a copy, you are more than welcome to go purchase a spoken word album. But as well, it is also available in audiobook and it's also available in digibook. Now, the spoken word album, of course, has the emotions that's attached to the poem. And that's why it's so relevant in terms of getting this recording, this spoken word album. It talks about from birth, these are stories, factual, that I might say, factual from birth through adulthood. So you have a chance to listen to, at the very beginning, the first one is an haiku that talks about, when exactly this, I was born at my mom, I was premature, so 5 months and 3 weeks. Okay, so when you have a chance, by all means, go check it out. I am going to just take a break to run a quick commercial that I have handy. Yes, on my book, and I will be right back. I wrote a song today. 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 A moment in time when okay was just that. Okay? About freedom, self-expression, love, and innocence. It reminded me of a definitive period during my adolescence. I wrote a song today. Yes, so right there, you are able to just hear a snippet in terms of one of my tracks. That's the signature track. It's called Behind Closed Doors, just as the title itself. And Behind Closed Doors actually talks about myself walking to school. But before I get into talking what it's about, now within the audiobook and within the signature digibook itself, Behind Closed Doors is a sonetto. There are different variations of poems, and Behind Closed Doors is a sonetto. A sonetto means a little song, and it was made popular by William Shakespeare back in the days. Okay, so it was necessary for myself to include music to this recording and as well to lend my voice to this recording as well. And that's the reason why you hear a little bit of singing before I actually went into the poem itself and to recite it in terms of a spoken word album as well. Right? So that's the reason behind closed door. Now, what's this poem about? This poem is about them walking to school. As we know, currently there's a little bit of focus on the fact that there are various persons that are coming out now about being sexually assaulted growing up, within Jamaica, various parts of Jamaica as well. Well, I can't speak about nobody, and I don't need a platform or to follow anyone and jump on their bandwagon because my book has been out since March and April. Okay. So, again, factual. Yes. What it talks about is that walking to school, right? And it talks about, I wrote a song today where it is that, just as the poem, a sonetto, a little song, to talk about what the poem is about. Um, Being able to follow a friend who wanted to go to his house. And believe it or not, this person was a friend of my best friend from school. And we went to get a textbook that she wanted. And all I know was that I went in his room to get the book, and the rest is history. So I've had various persons that have asked the question before about, um, you know, I remember when I put out a little clip and they were running, and someone asked the question, "Well, what happened? Was somebody running behind you to rape?" Well, it becomes so ordinary and second nature that it becomes the next best thing. So, of course, yes, it is that. Yes, um, talks about someone trying to rape me on my way to school. Okay, so this album is very, very important to me. Okay, so on that note, we're going to keep it going. So that's behind closed doors. So it's from birth to adulthood. It talks about being born at 5 months and 3 weeks, where I was 5 pounds and 5 ounces, right? It talks about getting into primary school, where it is that there were various things that happen throughout going to school, being able to pass my common entrance, and then going to high school, and then getting to high school and being at the top of my class. And yes, I have people that I went to school with who are currently listening. Yeah. And being at the top of my class all the years in high school, every single grade. And they can vouch for me as well. So, yeah, it talks about that. And it gets into two different situations when I was in high school. Then it gets into when I was training for the Olympics and I got injured. And I had to tap into my 5 strengths of wisdom. Again, there's a poem there that talks about the 5 strengths of wisdom. And when you have a chance as well, you can go and listen to that. Tapping into the 5 strengths of wisdom, and everyone has different strengths of wisdom. The 5 strengths of wisdom, as it's focused on the book itself, it talks about this time where it is that I was injured training for the Olympic trials. That injury cost me almost 2 years where I was unable to walk. Okay. But the 5 strengths of wisdom talks about being at a place where I did not know if I would be able to walk again, and, have to decide, what am I going to do? Just lay there and don't walk again, or what do I do? Well, the 5 strengths of wisdom, it talks about or references writer Corey Miller. Corey Miller, which she specializes within the field of neuropsychology and positive psychology, that inspired
the writing of the poem itself as well. And within there is Robert Steinberg's theory of balance as well, theory of wisdom, that talks about balance. And I think for some persons, when they listen to the poem and it says big C in creativity, right away they gravitate towards, well, is this letter C in creativity? No. Each of us, having all of us, we are creative beings. And just as there's the big C, there's also little c, in terms of creativity. But big C just, it's, that, you're on a different spectrum in terms of your creativity. So when you have a chance as well, because it is that there is a creative achievement that evaluates everyone's life work in terms of what it is that you have done. And you can take the test as well. And so the test evaluates myself being of big C, which means that you're you're on a different spectrum. You're transformative. It's a period that highlights the impact and relevance, where it is that I adopted the 5 strengths of wisdom within it itself. So this poem is very huge for me, and in terms of being able to transform it into spoken word as well. And the 5 strengths of wisdom, as highlighted in the poem, has to do with perspective, curiosity, judgment, love of learning, and of course, this creativity. The middle stanza, which has to do with judgment, is currently the period that I was in. The first 2 periods before that, which is perspective and curiosity. Perspective was kind of like you're still getting to know yourself at 5 years old. That's when I realized to myself that, listen, my black is beautiful and I do not need anyone to rock my boat. I'm good with my color and who I am. And then again, at 13 years old, where it is now, you becomes a little bit more curious in terms of life itself. And again, as I've said, the 3rd stanza is currently where I was in terms of coming to grips and recognizing the 5 strengths of wisdom. And now that it's time that you're injured and it's time to look at where you're coming from, the persons that are around you, and how do you evaluate yourself, and do you stay in the same position or you would like to move forward? Well, the number 4 and 5 basically talks about the transformation. And the number 4 stanza talks about the authentic me, recognizing my authenticity and what it is that I bring in my space, and how it is that my light is able to shine onto others. And the last stanza itself talks about recognizing and achieving everything that I have achieved thus far. And it is a celebratory poem. An ode is a celebratory poem. And in this poem itself, I celebrated myself. It's very good as well for me to transform that into spoken word album, right? So again, when you have a chance, if you cannot get the spoken word album, you can get the audiobook or you can get the digibook, right? It's a trilogy at this point, but you have an opportunity as well to go in and learn a little bit more about Dr. Empress Rose, and not what about you, and not about any of the bad things you hear as well. I have an open door policy, so everyone is in. You can send me an email, or you can send me a DM, or if you have my number, then you can send me a message. If you don't have my number, maybe you're not that important, or you are important. It's just that we haven't crossed paths. In that case, my emails are also open, and I am across social media as well, right? So if you would like to know more about myself and what it is that I do and who I am, you're welcome to do that, as well as as I have released this spoken word album today. Of course, there's that the last recording, or this, I should say in this case, the second to last recording, it talks about FU cancer, as I am a 2-time cancer survivor. It talks about some of the traits to look forward to, right? some of the traits that persons like myself go through. So you're able, if you don't, that you can start seeing some of the things, before it actually happens. And the last one on the spoken word album, of course, is a dedication to my dad, who is always watching over me and helping me to see the light right here on earth. So again, when you have a chance, check out my spoken word album. Of course, I'm always promoting everybody else, and maybe it's time that I start promoting myself. I've been doing that for a few months now, but it has gotten to another high where I realize that it's much better that I don't want to be selfish and pay attention to just myself, but to pay more attention to what it is that I have to give to the public as well, and not just about looking out for others as well. With that being said, I am going to jump to the commercial that I just played earlier, and I'll be right back.
I wrote a song today. 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 A moment in time when okay was just that. Okay? About freedom, self-expression, love, and innocence. It reminded me of a definitive period during my adolescence. I wrote a song today.
Yes. On that note, I must say, I really appreciate you guys for really coming through and, being here, right? I hope it is that I did not upload my tracks to the system because it is that I was looking forward to a great interview with Aklerh. However, I don't have my tracks that are uploaded, but if you are someone who is listening and you would like to get a copy of the spoken word album or the book or the digibook or the audiobook, I can point you to where you can find it. And as well, if you would like a copy of my spoken word album, you can reach out to me as well. And I might make it happen. I should say, I not might. I will make it happen by sending you a copy for yourself as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming through and once again lending to me your listening ear. Thank you so much. And have a blessed rest of day. I appreciate you wholeheartedly, more than you know.